I ain't the dude who walked into this thing killing it. I ain't the dude with the 90% close ratio pretending that you can buy this special lead and you close everybody. I ain't that guy, bro. I'm the dude that's going to outwork everyone on here for such a consistent amount of time, and I'm going to have insane discipline, and I will win.
What I would love to help y'all do is like any of y'all, and this isn't to like be mean or anything, but if any of y'all set some kind of goal for this year and already like not done it or failed at it or quit chasing it, it's like big things happen with very small, incremental, consistent activities. And I remember when I was new figuring out this industry, I don't know why, but I thought like I would roll out of bed one day and be amazing at this, and that was it. And it didn't really ever work that way. I had to instill the size agency we are today, and the size business I have, and the revenue we have, and you know, thousands of writers we have every month. A lot of people are like, "I wish I was like you," and I'm like, "You want problems all day long, every day? Sweet. I hope you do." Because it allows you to build something big when you're used to and understand how to solve and get through problems. And so, as you guys are starting to talk about what you want to do this year, I want you to be okay and become the person who gets through hard things and identifies and solves problems. Solving problems is what sells life insurance. You're solving a problem for a client. Solving problems is what helps you build an agency because you're solving problems for agents. Hell, I'm trying to solve problems for y'all right now, which helps us and helps Caitlin and helps everybody, you know, and learning how to solve problems is what gets you to a point where you can run a big business. Right? Caitlin came to me with some new problems a few weeks ago. And I'm like, dope, those are big ones. Let's work on them together because it's not an easy 4-minute answer. And what I've learned is a lot of people have they increase their goals, and most people realize they have to increase their activity fair to increase their goals. Like I don't think that's a confusing thought process. But what people find out quickly is like a really simple example is if you sell, I don't know, 10 policies a month and you have 2 chargebacks. Well, if you start selling 40 policies a month, you're certainly going to have more chargebacks. And so some people ignore the fact that they're going to have more net income and they struggle because there's more chargebacks. Or if you start dialing more or buying more leads, you're going to have more people hang up on you this week. You're calling more people, there's more activity. So with more activity brings more problems you have to get through. The frequency of them happens more. But when you have more problems and you solve them, the upside gets extremely high fast. Meaning, again, if you're selling, people are like, I'd take 10 chargebacks if I sold 40 policies. I'm like, well, that's how it works in the long run. But most people don't fight long enough through the temporary increase in toughness, and they kind of give up too soon. I'm in the middle of doing. I'll give you a different example where it applies to, and I'm pulling into my driveway, so I'll be on a computer in like 3 minutes. I'm doing. Any of y'all ever done 75 hard? Or does anyone happen to be doing it now? Any of y'all know what that is? It's like raise your hand, say yes, type it in the comments. I'm shit curious. I can actually see a lot of y'all.
Thumbs up. Yes, we're good. Hear me clean? Dope. Thanks. So when I decided to start doing this thing, oh, this is way better. I like seeing all of y'all. When I decided to start doing the 75 hard deal, a lot of people said they wanted to do it, but the reality is when things got hard, most people quit it and quit it quick. And this time of year, it seems that like everybody wants to do more this year, right? Everybody like to make more money, build a bigger business, hire more agents, sell more policies, sell more annuities. Like we all want that. And I would love to go like there's some magic to it, but it's going to be doing more than you did last year. Because if you were unsatisfied with what you did last year, you're going to have to like break new limits. Like I'm in pretty good shape. right? I work out a lot. I'm a little older. I'm 47, so it's a little different as you get older. Like the testosterone works a little bit differently, so it takes a little more. But I'm in pretty damn good shape. Like my kid, Maddox's friends are like, dude, your dad's ripped. And relative to a bunch of 47-year-olds, I am. But you 20-year-olds that have muscles coming out your ear, I'm not that ripped, you know? But for me to like cut more body fat than I have now, do you think I can keep doing the same routine to drop to, I don't know, 8% body fat compared to what I got now? Keep eating the same thing, keep doing the same workout? Probably not. I'm gonna have to adjust some things and tweak things and work harder and be more and fine tune the diet. And it's gonna be work and discipline every day. You know, and y'all have someone that wants y'all to win more than most everybody I do calls with. It always blows my mind how many people get on your team call. And for y'all to hit those next level and hit those goals, we're gonna have to really start to fine tune the details a little bit more. But you might have to like turn it up. You know, again, you want someone on here wants to drop 40 pounds. It's like, buckle up. It's going to take a minute. It's not going to happen next week. It's going to be a lot of hard work. And you want to maintain it. You got to do it forever. So again, you want to be great at life insurance sales. Cool. You're going to have to do a lot more work and make more calls. And certainly we can work on some skill set stuff, but then you're going to have to maintain that pace and build an agency. Although there's a ton of upsides, how many days per week, Caitlin, do you deal with trouble or problems or issues? Right? Literally every day. Fair? No, it's okay. I know
It's worth it. It's worth it. But yeah, I mean, we do deal with it.
right? But you deal with it. And so what I've learned is most people who are at like I don't know, for lack of a better phrase, kind of mediocre at this or not at a high level or stuck somewhere, they see the problems as negative, right? That's why you worded it that way. It's worth it because you don't see the problems as negative like most people. I don't see the problem to me doesn't mean negative. Problem to me means opportunity. Does that make sense? It's an opportunity to advance. It's an opportunity to get better. It's an opportunity to make more money. It's an opportunity to bring more people on. And so many people see the problem and they run away from it. Where her and I were like, dope, new problem, new things we can achieve, new hills we can climb, new heights we can hit, new levels we'll get to. You know, and so I think coming into this year, if you guys would start to look at what you currently consider as problems as opportunities, meaning I got a chargeback today, that's a problem. No, that's an opportunity for you to get better at sales and maintain and keeping clients on your books. It's opportunity for you to call someone. It's an opportunity to learn how to solve a client's problem better. You know, because the quote unquote problems in the business, any business, I got buddies that run all kinds of companies. They all have problems. And the ones that run the biggest and baddest ones understand that those equal opportunities. Because the reality is when you run into the wall, there's 1,000 of you more. I mean, there's a million insurance agents, but there's 1,000 people just like you, relatively close to you, running into the same problem. Most are going to give up. Only a few of you are going to go, cool, this is an opportunity to get better. How do I tackle it? How do I approach it? I messed it up this time. Cool, let's tweak it. Let's adjust it next time. Let's reassess the way we handled it. You know, and nothing's going to be perfect. I tell my team every day, and I have a dope team at my office behind me that helps me do all the stuff you see us doing. I tell my team all the time, I ain't perfect by any means, but I'm certainly going to try to figure out how to solve this damn problem. And maybe we don't solve it perfectly the first time, but we're going to keep at it. You know, and for me, it's the way I view things. And I know when I look at something and 1,000 other people are looking at that same thing, I know the one thing I'm not going to do is give up. I ain't quitting. I ain't going to stop trying. I ain't going to stop pushing. I ain't going to stop growing, and I'm not going to stop learning. And that's been the mentality. I've been in this business now. I got my license in 2010. I've had a license 14 years. I've watched some people with some incredible talent come into this business. And when they run into problems, they don't see it as opportunities. They see it as a reason that they should stop and quit and give up. You know, and you guys have and are part of such a good group of people. I know I'm starting to learn and meet some of the other leaders and managers in the group. And you have plenty of people to help you. And this business can be lonely. if you allow it to be lonely. If you allow it to be where you just sit by yourself and make sales and don't engage and don't get involved and don't be and aren't part of the company and aren't part of the agency and aren't part of the culture and aren't following what the winners are doing and immersing yourself in that. I did this climb last year. Anybody ever heard of 29029? Anybody know what that is? Got to get in the flow. I agree, Michael. Ain't that where you're at now? Isn't that who you went out to help, Caitlin? Is that the same, Michael? I think it is.
Yeah, we're in Maryland.
You're working on it, bro. I like it. Having Caitlin out to help. Nobody's heard of the 29029 thing, huh? All right. So do y'all know Jesse Itzler? Anybody know him? Probably a lot of people know him. A good dude. I like to follow him. He does crazy shit. He's a little bit older than me and he does some endurance stuff. And he has this thing that I sign up to. 29029 is the height of Mount Everest in feet. So it's how high Mount Everest is. And he has this thing where he rents out a mountain and you have to hike the mountain X number of times until you hit the equivalent of Mount Everest. Right. So I went to Whistler, Canada last year, and you have to hike it 8 times. It's 4 miles each time, 4,000 feet high. You have to hike it, come down, hike it, come down. And you got 36 hours, 36 hours to do it. Right. And that sucker's hard as shit. Like hiking a mountain 8 times in a day and a half. You don't have any time to sleep. The weather's unpredictable. It could be warm. It could be cold. It could rain. It could not. And no matter how prepared you are, when you do an event like that, there's going to be challenges as you go up it. And last year I struggled. I only made 5 of them out of the 8 I was supposed to do. I got whacked because it was freezing rain and cold. And I'm like, it was the rain and the cold. That's why I couldn't do it. It poured down rain for 20 hours as I hiked. I go up the thing again 5 times. I finish at 2:30 in the morning. And I'm like, I don't know that I have another day in me. I don't know that I can finish the last 3. It was super hard. And again, I blame the rain and the cold because I was shivering for literally 20 hours straight. It was very difficult. And then at the end, I looked at it the next day and like, I don't know, 200 people finished. And I'm like, well, hell, it was raining on them. It was cold for them. Like they dealt with the same conditions I dealt with. They were just willing to persevere through a tough situation where I wasn't. Maybe they trained a little better. Maybe they trained harder. I don't know. Maybe the combination. And I looked at this year and I'm like, hot damn, why was I blaming the rain and the wind and the cold versus blaming my lack of preparation? I mean, like other people did it. Why couldn't I? And there's people, everybody in here knows someone that's achieving in this business to the level you are. And to y'all, maybe it looks easy. Maybe what I do looks easy. Maybe what Caitlin does looks easy. And when I was on the mountain, the old lady who was like smoking me every time would just hike right by me like no big deal. It looked easy to her. I'm like, well, why? Probably more training. You know what I mean? Probably wasn't her first time doing it. Like I tried to like, you got to be careful when you compare yourself to someone else because you don't know where they are on the journey. So although you can look at other people for vision and potential, when you're going through one of those tough times, don't compare yourself to someone who has more reps than you and go like, there's something special. Like, be willing to go through the process of getting so good that it does become easy to you. Because this business does get easy. Sales does get easy. Building, recruiting does get easy. And I'm going to give you guys some resources. I don't know if I've given them out to you guys. I like that one. Who does that? Who types the stuff? I'm curious. Is that you, Caitlin?
That was me.
Is it? Okay, cool.
I tell myself that like every day because it's very true.
I was wondering if it was your crew because like my crew gets on these calls and they type cool things for me sometimes. And your staff was doing some cool stuff the other day and something. I was wondering if it was them again. So I was just gonna give them a shout out. But kudos to you too. I ain't mad at it. I gotta do better. I need more quotes from you typed out. I gotta talk better. What do y'all need help with specifically? I want someone to like unmute that like actually wants to fucking win and wants to go through something.
Just a kick in the ass. You know, I love John Wetmore for that. So yeah, great event.
If you're a struggling insurance agent or quite frankly an agency manager struggling to grow and you're looking for some help, let me help you. My name is John Wetmore. I've built an agency of over 6,000 agents across the country. We'll issue over $200 million in paid premium this year, and I have an event coming up in my office, Metro Atlanta, February 27th and 28th. I'll be spending 2 days teaching you everything I've learned in the last decade and helped thousands of agents build their agency and their business. Click on the link below, register. We'll see you there. I don't want to just talk at the computer.
So yeah, so I'm dealing with some crushing anxiety right now. I've had just a few bad days, and I literally just started. So like, there's no reason why. I went through year-long licensing problem, like going through the motions with California with my felonies and everything on my record. So I got all the way to this point, and I have a few days of like just getting beat up on the phones, and
I'm going to slow you down. All right. We're going to slow down. It's okay. You didn't do nothing wrong. I'm just going to slow you down. I want you to define bad day for me, because that's what you started with.
So for me, it's just, I'm just not making money. And I'm getting the analysis paralysis coupled with, feeling like I'm just not providing for my family, and I'm putting my all into this. I just want to, I'm putting myself out there because I'm having some serious, like,
So are you good if I'm like wide open? Like, are you easily offended, or see me? Because I don't know you at all, and I don't want to like, I have to somewhat assume stuff. Does that make sense? And I have to be broad sometimes.
Yeah.
So, all right. So your definition of a bad day is you didn't make money today, and you have anxiety. Okay.
I'm just like,
I got it. Yeah. The words you said to yourself, you also said you got beat up on the phones today. So I want you to explain what that means too.
I'm just getting I'm just getting a lot of clicks, a lot of people,
like hanging up.
Yeah, hanging up. A lot of.
Okay. How many hung up on you today?
How many people?
Yeah.
I would say if I take my dials so far, I would say that out of the 247 I got right now, let's see, 247 minus 12. So
I don't need
about 230. I would say 230.
That's how many phone calls?
That's how many people have hung up. That's not how many phone calls. That's the non-talks, non-conversations.
So how many you made 1,000+ dials today?
No. I'm at 250 right now.
250 phone calls.
Yes.
Every single person picked up?
No.
Because you said 230 hung up on you.
Oh, you're right. So not getting a lot of answers, not getting a lot of,
how many hung up on you?
Maybe 20.
Okay. If I gave you $20, is that a lot of money?
No.
Okay. 20 dials is not 20 people hanging up on you is not a lot of people hanging up on you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's 20 fucking people, dude.
Okay.
It's literally 20 people.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? That's not a big number.
Okay.
You know how many people I've had hung up on me in my career? Take a wild guess.
I'm going to say in the hundreds of thousands.
Probably, dude. It's an obnoxiously high number.
Yeah. 20
is not a big number. Okay. Now what time, where do you live? What time is it?
California. It's 4:30.
Okay. What time did you start dialing?
I didn't start until 9:30.
Okay. Is there anything like major in life made you start so late, or just the anxiety of it all?
No, I was doing a training I did a training at 8, and I was in a role play from 7 to 8. I'm just working with my upline, trying to get better on the phones.
So 9:30 to what time did you say it is there? 4:30?
Yeah, I was just in an hour and a half long presentation and lost it at banking. So
happens. Yeah, I get it. So again, we can analyze the stuff. Couple $100, cool. Anybody made more than 200 dials in here today? Who thinks they have the most dials in here today? So I want someone to pipe it. If you think you have the most of anyone in this room, I want you to say your number.
I think I do.
What's your number for the day? Roughly. And if you don't know it, don't unmute. Like I want you to give me a number quick. Total dials for the day.
About 420.
Anybody over 420 today? Nobody else over 420?
No, I know my dials are down. I know that on a better
Okay.
day, I get
Yeah.
400.
So again, the point I'm trying to make, John, I don't want to beat you up over it. What I
No,
want you to do is the words coming out of your mouth are very extreme.
Okay.
You said a lot of people hung up. You said you got beat. Have you ever been beat up? Like actually beat up?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they the same?
No, definitely not.
Then
I
don't
end
use
up
the
in
same
hospital.
words.
I don't end up in the hospital over this. Sure.
Don't use the same words then, because you
Okay.
did not get beat up today.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
You had
totally.
20 dipshits hang up on you.
All right.
Fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you also said, I gave it my all. But then you just also said, I know I don't have as many dollars as I should.
Okay, so it doesn't make sense. You're right.
Correct.
There's
So
something there that I'm missing. Yeah, I'm missing
yeah,
that.
you have to be really, really careful how you speak to yourself, because you will believe yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
You sell yourself a load of shit. You will also buy that load of shit if you allow yourself to. So you have to get to a point, bro, where when you tell yourself something that we would consider foolish, I do this where, first of all, I want to let you know it's completely normal. And I respect the shit out of you for jumping on and being willing to talk about it, because it's hard. Most people here wouldn't do it. Does that make sense? So I love that you did it. And that's why I asked permission, because I want you to learn from this.
Yeah.
What I was taught when I used to stay, stuff like that, because I'm just like you, dude. I'm very emotional. I wanted to effing kill people when they hung up on me. In fact, I wanted to call them back and argue with them when they said that they didn't fill it out, and I wanted to prove that they did fill it out, right? I wanted to win that mental battle on the phone. I stopped caring about booking an appointment. I wanted to win the mental battle, right? I'd be sarcastic. I was kind of a turd to people. Like, I don't know. I would lose my mind, right? And then I realized someone had taught me, like, the way I'm speaking to myself isn't certainly helping the situation. And then fair to say, when you speak like that, you're in a little bit more of a negative state.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're in a more of a negative state, do you think that the strangers that you're calling are going to hear your tonality be different than it were if you were happy?
Oh, for sure they're going to pick up on it.
Okay.
100%.
Do you think if they pick up on it and they hear that you're unhappy and frustrated and annoyed, that they're going to want to talk to you?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So do you think you're bringing on more people hanging up on you?
No, I'm just bringing in more of what I'm currently
You're bringing it on. You're causing more of it because of your demeanor and your tone, right? And that starts with the way we speak to ourselves.
Mhm.
Okay. So what I do is I let myself know that that's a normal part of the process. Do you play sports?
No.
Have you ever played? Do you understand them?
Yes, totally. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Has a baseball player ever, like, during a game, they get at bat, I don't know, 4 times a game, and they get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pitches per at bat?
Yeah.
Right? If there were 20 balls thrown at me today, and they were all strikes, shitty day. I don't know if I can do this. What would you tell that guy playing baseball?
I mean, it's like, it's just part of the process. It's just what's going to happen. And I've been telling myself that. It's just like, I'll get in, and then I'm like, I tell myself.
Right. So now you got one side telling you the right thing and one side telling you the wrong thing.
I do. Absolutely.
Okay.
100% do. I've worked the past year to try and get a good mindset with fitness and everything to gain.
Yep.
So like, I gotta
here's the battle, dude, we all have. Because to be clear, we're all fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay. Every one of us. We all have negative thoughts. We all somewhat beat ourselves up. Okay. Now, the way I do it for me, and I literally have merch that says this stuff. Like I created stuff of that I say to myself. So any of you that follow my stuff, I'm like, I made all this shit for me. I just happen to have it that other people can buy it because people like it. But like, I tell myself, so use I'm going to use no filter here. So y'all take it for what it's worth. This is how I talk to me. When that person over here is being negative, this person over here tells this one, I'm like, yo, Wetmore, stop being a fucking bitch and fix it. And that works for me.
No, honestly,
Make
that's
sense?
yeah.
Y'all got to find out what works for yourself.
no,
But at
100%.
the end of the day, everyone can relate to what you just happened, just that thing that we just went through. Everyone here goes through that, right? The difference is some of us understand, just like you understand when it's a baseball player, that is part of the process. And if I get off my game, I'm going to bring on more of the negative stuff. I'm going to attract it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so as you're going, first of all, you need to prep in advance mentally to understand, certainly I want to win. Today's going to be a great day. I'm going to have good success today. I'm going to have great conversations today. I'm going to write some apps today. And just because the first person hangs up on you, it's like getting a strike or even striking out in baseball, or worse, getting a bad call, called third strike on a ball that was outside. Like, do you lose your ever-loving mind, or you go, get him next time? You know, hey, let me get in the batting cages. I had a bad day today. Let me get in batting cages. Try again. Let me hit some balls off the tee. You know what I mean? Let me go to batting practice. Let me study some film. Let me ask one of my teammates if hey, did y'all see anything I did poorly today that you think I can improve on? Was my swing off? What do you think?
Yeah, and that's what I've been trying to do with doing the role plays and everything. I just, I just lost
It's
one.
ongoing, dude. You're brand new.
Yeah, I just lost one right when I came in here and you said anybody dealing with anything. So I was like, this is
It's part of the process, dude.
I got you.
How, and you said you're brand new to doing this?
I mean, I was doing a little bit part-time last month and while I was working my other job, and I just put my 2 weeks on at my other job because I had like a good few days, and this is my lifeline. This is gonna work. I'm not gonna stop this. I mean, there is no quitting, but you know what I mean? I have to put it out there.
Yeah. You just have to understand, dude, that something that pays this well, if it were that fucking easy, dude, everyone would do it and it wouldn't pay that well. It'd be like going to McDonald's. You know what I mean? It's like you have to get through this part. You have to be willing to go through this phase, dude, where you learn how to take these punches and you don't feel like you got beat up. And everyone hung up. A lot of people hung up on me. Dude, you know how many? I've been hearing that for 12 years, dude. That's why I kept asking you. Because I knew you weren't trying to be mean or full of shit, but I knew 250 people didn't hang up on you.
No, yeah.
And I knew you didn't mean it that way. But it's like, I want you to understand how important it is, the way we speak to ourselves and the environment we put ourselves around. That's why being in a community, and I don't know if you have dial rooms or not, or you have someone that's positive you can reach out to. But like, dude, if there's negative noise in your world, you have to get rid of it as much as you can. And the difference between the winners and the losers isn't that we don't get negative things that happen to us. And it's not that we don't talk to ourselves negatively ever. It's that we don't let it linger and we catch it and we change it. Does that make sense? We're hyper aware when we're in a negative state. Bro, you know how many days a week I'm negative in my mind out loud sometimes?
Split seconds.
7 days a week, dude, I'm negative. You know how many days I want to kill someone? 7 days a week. But I don't let it linger, dude. I don't let it be who I am.
Yeah.
I allow myself the grace to be a human, but I don't allow myself to be a fucking pussy and be a baby and drag it out. I apologize if that offends anybody.
Oh, way, dude.
Does that make sense?
Good.
I'm the woman on here, and some people don't know me, and I'm super sorry that sometimes I get fired up. So I apologize to any ladies that I'm sorry, but it's how I speak to myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Does that help?
Yeah, it does. Thank you, Wetmore.
Yeah.
I really
hey, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Send me, have you read this sucker yet?
I haven't.
All right, DM me on this thing right here. Send me your full name and your address. I'm gonna send you one.
Thank you, John. I'm gonna do that right now.
Who else wants to talk? Anybody? Now I'm fired up. I'm excited. Anybody want some help? Building, sales, anything at all? Don't be
Yes,
afraid.
I would absolutely love some help.
All right, who we got? Luke?
I just went dark. Sorry there. So I think my biggest issue that I kind of realized I had this week was complacency. And
Okay.
it hit why? Well, it hit me in the ass pretty hard because I've been, you know, I would told myself wake up at 4, hit the gym, hit your cold plunge, get on the phones at 8.
Yep.
And there are days where I do that and then I get a sale, like I got a fat sale on Tuesday. And I was super excited. Next morning, woke up at 7:30, didn't hit the gym in the morning, still did my cold plunge, didn't go on the phones until 10. And I sat with myself then I was like, you can't fucking do that. Just sorry for my language. You can't do that.
Well, I started the trend. You may as well continue it.
Yeah, sorry. You can't do that just because you got a sale. Just because you got a sale, you can't just put it off and be like, oh, I made a sale, time to sleep in and enjoy my rest.
Yeah.
You know, or the same, like that's like the thing I'm trying to get over with.
How
I
long
mean,
you
I
been
did the
selling?
same thing. How about I been what?
How long you been selling?
I went full time here right after Christmas.
Oh, so
So
you,
for
how
3
long you been
weeks.
part-time?
I was part time since October and didn't really have much in it until I made my first few sales and I said I need to get out of my serving job, quit my serving job, put my 2 weeks in, went full time in this, and it's just been pedal to the metal nonstop since then. And
Well,
it's been a pretty successful week this week, but still just it's kind of getting out of the trend of, going to like a typical serving job and stuff like that and
I get it.
trying out a new routine and all that. I'm
Sure.
just trying to get that like down and I have to get over that complacency of being fine with just one sale a day or being fine with sleeping in and stuff like that.
What do you have for goals? Like, why are you doing this? What's the point? Like, why do you sell insurance?
Financial freedom. It's a
What does
great
that
career to
mean?
start off.
What does financial freedom mean?
Financial freedom, I'll put in the quote of my old swim coach, is to literally just have a problem and take money and throw at it and then have no worries about it. And that also means not just my time, my financial freedom, but also my time freedom and potentially location freedom. So I can live wherever I want, do whatever I want, whenever I want it, with however much money I want. And also to build, my family doesn't come from generational wealth. So I want to start generating wealth in this family and make, the Vensloff name a name that people, know and fear. That's like my biggest thing.
Can I ask you a favor?
Yeah.
I'm like from the hood, dude, and I'm not that smart. You said a lot of big words. Can you dumb that down for me a little bit and like say, I want to know what you want, not what I don't need the quotes, and what do you want?
I want success. I want to become.
I want specifically, what do you want? How much money do you want to make, and why do you want to make it?
I've never been asked like this specific amount.
I know. I hate vague answers, dude. They're like just talking points.
All right, we'll put a number. What's $1 million a year?
Okay.
$1 million a year by 2028.
Okay. How much do you want to make this year?
I want to hit Hall of Fame, so 200 or 300K.
Okay. So sell 400, make 250 plus.
Yeah, exactly.
You have kids, families. What's your situation?
I have a cute cat. I have a cat, and that's about it. I'm living with my parents right now.
Huh?
I said I'm living with my parents right now, and I have a cat. If you want to count that as my kid.
Why do you want to make 250? What are you gonna do with 250, dude?
Move out, settle my debts, start building a nest egg and investing. That's another thing I want to start. I will start doing this year. I don't say I'm gonna. I'm trying to change my words. Not from I'm gonna, but I will. I will start investing. Moving out is another thing with a few of my friends. Paying off all my debts and just getting my life ready to be ready for have a family, traveling, all that fun stuff, buying a house.
Do your parents have money or no?
They do well for themselves. My dad's a personal
You
trainer.
didn't grow up rich or anything. You're not like country club kid like that. Got it.
No. Grew up in Irvine, upper middle class Irvine.
Okay, cool. If one of your parents got sick for the next 12 months and couldn't work, would they be okay financially or no?
Depends on who gets sick.
Okay.
If my dad gets sick, we would not be okay, probably, because he's the main breadwinner. My mom makes a little bit here and there with like Medicare sales and stuff like that and everything she does, but
the answer is no.
The answer is no, yeah.
Okay. Now, if you were making 250K a year, $1 million a year, would you be able to help and take care of things?
Of course.
Okay.
That'd be
Would
my
you-
main thing, would
would
be
you
take care
watch
of them.
them drown in whatever misery they are.
I would never wish that upon my parents.
Okay.
They've done too much for me, and I owe them my life, and I owe them way too much.
Okay. That
I
sounds
owe
a
them
lot
the
better
world.
than that vague shit you were trying to sell me before.
Thank you for pulling that out of me. Thank you for that. That actually,
Okay. What's
I
the
like
most
that.
amount of money you've made in a year to date?
Probably just like 55, 60K.
Okay.
Serving and bartending and lifeguarding.
All right. 10 a.m. when you said you started, that's like halfway through the day.
Mhm.
Do you think there's any chance on God's green earth that you are going to go from bartending to a restaurant stuff to $1 million a year, starting your career halfway through the day?
No.
Okay. So it doesn't appear that you want it that bad.
That makes sense.
Like kind of words come out of your mouth, but if you really wanted it, like meaning if I had $1 million outside the front door and I was like, you can go pick it up whenever you want, would any of y'all wait till 10 a.m.? Nah, what time would you get up to go get it?
Right now. You text me right now. 5 a.m., 3 a.m., 2 a.m., 1 a.m.
Does anyone in here have any doubt you can make $1 million in this industry? Is anyone confused about that? And if you are, it's okay. Why are y'all waiting so long to go get it? Because I didn't put it in a duffel bag out front of your front door? That's the only reason you're waiting? That's like welfare. That's lottery. That's shit luck. Y'all have a bag out there. And we just kind of sit around and hope one day someone drops it at our front door and we can go open it and get it right now. It ain't real life, bro. It's just not real life. You know what I mean? So if you really mean the words you say, you would get up every day as if that bag's out there in the front door waiting for you. You know what's dope? After a while, putting in the work every day, getting up and grinding earlier than most people, when it's a pain in the ass and it's hard no matter what's going on, Brian, go out front of my front door and get that bag right now. You know what I mean? But dude, it wasn't when I was the guy that was getting up at 10 a.m. every day, because that was my life. If you followed the story, I share it all the time. And that's why I feel like I can be as direct as I am, because I was in every one of y'all's shoes. I ain't the dude who walked into this thing killing it. I ain't the dude with the 90% close ratio pretending that you can buy this special lead and you close everybody. I ain't that guy, bro. I'm the dude that's going to outwork everyone on here for such a consistent amount of time, and I'm going to have insane discipline, and I will win. And when I hike a mountain, I'm going to be the same type of dude. Like 99% of the world won't do that. But they say they want to be in good shape. 99% of the world is like, I want to be loaded. And again, props to you for getting on. But no offense, dude. Next time you start your career, your professional sales career at damn near lunchtime. No, dude. Maybe you hear my voice telling you don't really want it that bad. Your goals aren't really that big. Helping your parents isn't really that important. God forbid something happens. Which, to be clear, you're in the life insurance industry. And I don't say this to bust your bubble. One day something's going to happen. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Your life could have a curveball at any time. I've had several in my life. My wife got cancer at 40. You know, that was a hell of a curveball. Thank God we had some money. Changed. She got this really nasty eye infection like maybe 3 years ago, something like that. Couldn't function. Had she had a job, she would have got fired. Had I had a job, I had to bring her to the eye doctor 3 days a week for 3 months. From the day after Christmas till early March, I had to bring my wife to Atlanta. Actually, we had to go to this eye doctor, had 7 locations around Atlanta. I had to go 3 days a week, and I had to go where this doctor was, and they had a rotating schedule. So it's not like I got to go to the one up the street. I had to go to whatever one they were at that day. She had a really bad, she slept with her contacts in, so don't none of y'all do that. And then she got an infection, and there was a cut in her eye, and the infection got in the cut, and she had this big cyst on her eyeball. And they were like worried she might lose her sight and things. So it was like a big deal. Had she been at her job and I'd been an accountant, you think I could have taken her 3 days a week to downtown Atlanta to get her eye taken care of? No chance in hell. And if I did, do you think they would have cared and let me keep my job? No chance in hell. You know what I mean? And some of y'all are in a situation where if life throws you a curveball tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, your current efforts are going to come into play when life makes you make decisions or doesn't give you the option to make decisions. You know? So for me, when any hint of complacency steps in, bro, I have a real conversation with myself. And I still have to have that stuff. I still have to have those conversations in many ways. You know? So you just got to be careful, dude, out there and go like, am I really giving it everything it takes? And I'm not trying to be an ass, dude, but
No, it's fine. I love tough love.
When you start at 10 a.m., I'm like, you scream to me, you don't mean it.
Mhm.
Your actions scream, you don't mean it. You know? And if you can't police that, just accept mediocrity, bro. That's easier. Then you can go in at 10 a.m. and nothing matters. You know what I mean? Then you can make 200 phone calls a day and it don't matter. And you can buy 12 leads a week and it don't matter. You can do 6 presentations a week and who cares? Be mediocre. Hey, man, accept me. Be like, I want to be mediocre. Make 6 presentations a week. See how it goes. Some of y'all making 8, 10, 12 presentations a week and confused why you're broke still. You know what I mean? It's like, and you're not the only two. I love that y'all got it. So I'm gonna send DM me your stuff too. I'm gonna send you a book also. You know, so I appreciate y'all jumping on. It's like, but y'all aren't alone. Your peers are doing the same shit. You know, and for me to have success, when someone told me the only thing I got to do is outwork people, I was like, why did it take 3 years into my license for someone to tell me that? Because everyone else was telling me I had to have a magic script and the best lead and the right product in the right area and the right CRM and the right way to overcome. I want to think about it. That's how, if you just get that down, it's all golden from there. And then someone one day looked me in my face, and when I was asking him more detailed, over analytical questions, he asked about my activity, and when I told him, he laughed in my face. And it was, I wish he would have done that. I wish I met that dude 3 years earlier, and he would have. I wish someone else did that to me sooner. Because the reality is, dude, when he was like, "Yo, you just got to outwork everyone," because most people in the industry are doing like what's super mediocre. So if you use that as the measuring stick as to what to do, you're going to be mediocre too. The average insurance agent's broke as fuck. The also average insurance agent isn't doing anything. We're in sales for a living. Sales requires prospecting all the time. You want to sell, you have to prospect. Sell, prospect, right? In the middle is the present. You ain't presenting if you ain't prospecting. And so many people think they can figure out this business by presenting once a day, twice a day. And if you're one of the anomalies in here that kills it, getting up at 10 and, you know, making 4 presentations a day and killing it, and you're, hey man, dude, high five, more power to you. I fucking love it. But the reality is most of us don't know how to do that. You know what I mean? I'm sure shit not one of those guys. But when it came down to like, yo, just outwork people, I learned it's so easy to outwork insurance agents, bro. It's so easy to outwork other insurance agents. And then all I got to do is for a long period of time and the snowball of momentum and skill set improvement and talent starts to build. Dude, this thing gets unbelievably easy. It's like stealing from a little kid to hit Hall of Fame. It is literally one of the easiest things on the planet to do. It's insane what they pay us to do this. But is it going to be easy year one? Not for many, dude. Not for many. Are we going to promote on stage at conference all the people who crushed it their first year? Oh yeah. Why wouldn't we? We're in a IMO. You know what the M in IMO stands for? Anybody know? Marketing. We ain't stupid. Of course we're going to market it. But it doesn't mean everyone's doing it that way. Does that make sense? Like, y'all know the bell curve? We learned that shit in 6th grade. Bell curve. You're always going to have some on the outsides. But the chunk in the middle, that's us. The averages. You know what I'm saying? And maybe there's some sway one side to the other. But I'm like, yo, you can be average and you go do 30 presentations a week for the next 12 months. Tell me you don't make 250. Tell me you don't make 250K. 30 presentations a week for the next 12 months. You don't make 250K. Now I go, you did something really wrong. It is that easy? Am I confused that getting 30 presentations a week takes a little bit of work? Nope. Am I confused it takes some lead investment? Nope. I hear you, dude. You're the one that said you want to make 250. You know what I mean? It's like, yes, there's gonna be some difficulties, bro. All of you. Yes.
Yes, sir.
What I tell everyone else is, man, if you don't hit those activity numbers, ain't mad. This bitch is gonna be inconsistent and suck forever. It just is. And most people aren't gonna tell you that. But I ain't never had one person argue that with me. Tell me you can do 8 presentations a week and it won't be inconsistent and suck. Someone tell me that. I would love to talk to that person. What up, insurance agents? If you're looking for a roadmap on how to win in this industry, check out the book I wrote about a year ago, Do More Now, Get Better Later. Check out the reviews here somewhere. My team's putting them on. I'm getting tons of great feedback about all the people it's helped. Appreciate those of y'all that have bought it. Appreciate all the reviews that are going out. If you're new to following me or the industry, check out the book and get it in your hands now. It's just not reality. Do you always have to spend the lead money on what you're spending? No. You know what you could get good at? Getting referrals. You know what you could get good at? Doing annual reviews. Why don't you follow up with your clients every 6 months and see if they know anybody else that needs something? Or you just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am leads. Yeah, it's gonna be different. You know what I mean? Like, can we be professional at what we do? Can we study our craft? Can we get better at communication? You know? Are we playing video games at night? Are we reading self-development books? Are we listening to podcasts? Or are we listening to just crap on the radio? Like, yes, you should get better. You know, and what's funny is so many of us, there's a lot of dudes on here. So many of y'all watch sports. And the expectations you have for your favorite team come playoff time and how well they know their playbook. And if they run the wrong route, y'all fucking yell at the TV. You know what I mean? And you get mad at the adult that didn't do whatever and throw the ball the right way or catch the ball, or the coach that made the wrong call, kick the field goal, go for it on 4th down. And you're mad at I'm like, yo, you get that frustrated with yourself when you don't perform? You get that frustrated with yourself when you don't know underwriting, what carrier to write, what to say during that situation? When a recruit does A, B, or C and it isn't the right way, you get mad at yourself because you handled it incorrectly, or you still get mad at them? When the agent quits because they didn't have debt, are you still getting mad at them, or you getting mad at yourself because you didn't handle it correctly? Who are you? It's very funny, our expectations of other people. You know? You go to the restaurant, you order your steak medium rare and they bring it out medium well, you lose your mind. I'm like, wait, what? Didn't you mess up on your job today too, bro? Calm down. Like, calm down. You know, and I always tell people, man, if you judge, you should be able to type this one up, Caitlin. This one's pretty good. If you judge your activity, your efforts, your input, any of those things, the way you currently judge your results with the same enthusiasm and the same oomph, where we're always looking at it, always checking it out. If you judge your current activity the way you currently judge your results, your entire life will change. And most of us just look at the result side. Go, yeah, I didn't make no money. Yeah, I got yelled at. Yeah, I got this. I'm like, yeah, but you also weren't prepared. You also don't study phone script. You also don't study high-level salespeople. You also like take 47 minutes between phone calls. You also take 12 breaks a day. You also said you would work today and you didn't. You also said you were going to go at it full time this year and you didn't. You also said you were going to recruit every day and you didn't. You know, and any of those that read the book understand I was that way too. So what does that mean? You can change. And you know how quick you can change? On a dime. Anyone can change. You can change right now. You know what I mean? You start making more phone calls right now. You're like, it's 8 p.m. and you won't shut up. Dude, call the West Coast. You got plenty of time. If you're on the West Coast, call Hawaii. Call something. You've got plenty of time. Get up at 4 a.m. and call the East Coast. Y'all know you can do that, right? Y'all understand at 4 or 5 a.m. your time, we're like on the road, eating breakfast. We're good to go over here. And y'all understand late at night when you're sitting around watching Netflix, other than when Caitlin's traveling, her and everybody over there, they're wide awake as dinner time. Yet most people sitting around complaining how broke they are. Y'all have such an advantage today. You make phone calls for like 18 hours a day. And someone's always awake. And this industry's been around for 200 years. And people have been making money in this business for the entire time with no technology and no leads. Company's been around forever. And then they have no leads and no phones, bro. You know, we take it for granted. It's like we're in sales. Let's go see people. Open your front door. Talk to people. Prospect, prospect, prospect. You want to build something? Recruit, recruit, recruit. That's what it's about. And then teach this stuff. And when you go out and do it big time, it's really easy to build. You're stuck building? I bet you ain't killing it on the personal production side. I bet. I'd be willing to bet. Or you don't slow down and learn how to communicate with people and motivate people and talk to people the right way and teach the thing. You know, and I had all those struggles too. This thing does get pretty manageable and very predictable. This business is so predictable. It's so predictable. You know, just like in baseball earlier, guy goes 0 for 20, great. Dude, if he's been playing for 10 years and he hits 320 every year and he goes 0 for 20, is there any confusion that throughout in the entirety of the season, he's probably going to go on a hot streak and eventually probably bat somewhere in the ballpark at the end of the year? You know what I mean? And everybody looks at like today. They get frustrated with today's result, right now's result, this morning's result, yesterday's result, this week's result. I'm like, dude, you know it's the law of large numbers. That's when it starts to get good. But you don't get the benefit of the law of large numbers with little numbers. Doesn't work. Just doesn't work. You know, and so many of you guys focus on, and I always use examples. If we were going on a diet and trying to lose 30 pounds and we stepped on the scale every 4 minutes, like, do you think you're ever going to see a change? Nah. but we know if we eat.
Just looks like just tried to call you and didn't get an answer.
Oh, dope. He's dialing. I ain't mad at that. Amen. He took it serious. He's like, fuck this guy. Got message heard. Yeah. But again, I think we all know if we, eat some grilled chicken and veggies and stay away from the candy and the sugar and the Cokes and things like that, and we drink more water and, you know what I mean? We stop eating we stop like everybody's looking for the magic to get in shape. Really? Y'all don't know how to get in shape. Still? Yeah, I figured that out. You stop shoving shit in your mouth that ain't good for you. You eat stuff that's good for you. And you exercise. You do it consistently. And if you do that over the course of the next 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, with 100% accuracy, you're going to be in better shape. Fair? Everyone knows that. But when the popcorn's there, we kill it. When the Reese's cups are there, we kill them. Pizza's there, we add pepperoni. Because it takes
What
and what we know in 12 months what the result's going to be. It's going to be a significantly better body, better health, better feeling. All that's going to happen. It's going to happen. And then we see the drastic change when we look backwards and we compare to last year or 3 months ago or 6 months ago. Like I'm in 75 hard, right? 75 days. I look at day 1, day 75. I'm going to look different. And what I'm telling you is if you stop over analyzing everything every minute of the day in terms of results, it's like getting on the scale. Stop it. If you put in the effort every day, all the things you all know you need to do, you've been listening to trainings long enough. You know what it takes. If you put in the effort that you know it takes, and you keep telling yourself you're going to do, and you do it consistently over the course of the next 90 days, 6 months, 12 months, is anyone actually confused that you'll be in a better spot financially? It's really not that deep. But the equivalent of the candy bar is going to get in your way. Your buddy's going to call and say, let's go do this instead of work. You're going to go to the gym more. The things are going to get in the way. And those are hard decisions to make for a lot of people. For me, all the things I said I wanted, and I was tired of not having them, dude. I was 37 years old and still broke. And I'm like, yo, something's got to give. And I was tired. And I made an active decision to change who I was. Because what y'all see, I sure as shit wasn't 10 years ago, 12 years ago. I was saying a different human being, bro. But I changed one day. And I went from super mediocre. I had my license from 2010 through 2014. I think combined 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14. I might have issued 250 grand combined cumulatively. From March of 2015, yeah, it's like 40, 50 G's a year. There's no money. And to be clear, in 2014, it was 170 of it. So 2010, 11, 12, 13, combined, I probably had 50 grand, 40 grand. Like it was pathetic. 2015, when I made the change, March of 2015 is when I changed. 460K. Same dude. I just changed who I was willing to be every day. And I break down the story in the book if you want. A lot of you have bought it, a ton of people have bought it. I mean, all I want to say is like, y'all can do that too. So anything else anybody wants help with? Caitlin, I'm in no rush. I'm chilling at the house now.
I was gonna ask really quick, John, what do you need me to send you? Because you said send me stuff.
What's your address, bro?
What's my address? All right, I'll send you in the
Name
chat.
and address. Yeah.
I mean, that was great. I don't know if anyone else has anything for tonight. We don't want to take up too much more of your time. We really appreciate it.
Room for
Fine.
questions. I'm sorry. I'm in one right now, but I have my assistant closing it for me.
Yes, go ahead.
John, I have like a million questions for you. I've been on a couple of these. I've heard you. I think I tend to scoff when people are doing presentations and stuff. I'm just like, I'd rather just be working. And I'm usually just doing that while people are talking. But I unmuted a couple times and I heard you say some stuff where it just like it clicked for me. Like it made sense. I understood what you were saying and I really liked it. My team's doing super well. I've been working really hard since I was recruited by Kate. I made her a lot of big promises and I think I've delivered on them. My team's doing wonderful. I'm really appreciative for them. We're about to logo. I've hit 40K personal the last 2 months. I want to do And I feel that like there's a lot of steps I can take. And obviously there's the answer of just doing it. But I want to know if you have like, obviously there's not some secret formula, but I feel that I'm already taking the right steps. I want to know how I can accelerate my process.
In the sales side or building side?
I guess both. I think building more so. I have a couple of recruits that have fallen off that I think could have been really good. I also have a lot of recruits that are really good that I think I could help improve even more. So probably, I think I'm more focused on building now. I think I'm pretty confident in my own production.
So 40K, is that, I assume, leave you enough money plenty of money to pay your bills and plenty left to invest in the business, things like that?
Yeah, my ROI is pretty good. I would say I have pretty low lead spend, and so it allows me to put a lot more into my agents and the rest of my business.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, I think certainly it is a little bit of a loaded question because there's a lot of things to do, right, to improve. And the reason I'm working with Kate directly is because building, there's always ongoing. Like the sales side, dude, it's relatively easy, bro. Do A, B, C, you go at it, you win. Building's a different animal, bro. It really is. How many agents do you have selling right now? I know you said you're about to hit logo, but I'm curious how many writing agents.
When you were going through the list on the team meeting, I think I had 13 active writers.
Respectable.
But direct to me, I think I only have 4 or 5. And so that's like I have a very talented agent.
Main leg has how many?
Hammer, huh?
You have one, your main leg.
Main leg has like 7, 8, maybe 10.
Who's that?
Caleb Brugman. He's on here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So are you competitive?
Yes, very.
All right. So he has 7 writers, you have 4. Okay, so he's winning. Right? So the way I'm competitive, I'm very
got me already.
Yeah. Right. So the way I built my agency, bro, and this is just one tip. Again, we can have deeper conversations for sure and ongoing stuff. Where do you live? Where do you?
One second.
You're good.
My call just declined. Sorry, I have my assistant closing a deal, like I said. So, okay, keep talking. I'm sorry, listen.
Oh, that's all good, bro.
I apologize. I'm like getting 3 different calls right now.
You know what's funny is it reminds me of my life in 2016, 17, 18. My life was like that. Your phone don't ring off the hook like that if you ain't doing good things.
It's a blessing for sure, but it means that sometimes when I publicly ask you a question, I have to be embarrassed by getting 3 calls.
Tell your assistant to handle it. We'll make it worth it. How about that? So, one of the things, a strategy, like a concept that helped drive me, right? And I don't know if you need drive, but I like chasing stuff. I like achieving things. I like winning. Those things push me. So I'm going to tell you what I did, and you're smiling, so I'm assuming you're similar.
Competition is one of the biggest things for me.
So one of the things that I did is I looked at my team just the way I explained it there, and I mapped it out. I used to draw it out on a board. And so I'd draw my name up here, and then leg 1, and I draw depth. So who they had there, and then leg 2. And if they don't have anybody, I got 4 direct to me, fine. But I like to look at volume and total writers. And I like to look at my volume outside of anybody that also is building volume. And although they're my buddy and I'm trying to build something with them, in my head, they're kind of my competition too. And I want to outbuild them. I never wanted someone to be able to say that I'm 50% of Wetmore's group. I never wanted that. You know why? Because I said that about the guy above me. I was like, yeah, he's ahead of me on the leaderboard just because the heart, but I'm 92% of his group. Does that make sense? And I didn't want that same thing. So I built my team. So what we call base shop, does base shop mean anything to you? Like base shop is typically outside of your VPs or managers, right? Kind of who's direct to you. That's not really building. So my base shop, I was going to compete my base shop against all the other managers in my group. And I wanted to be number 1 inside my own group. That was just a strategy for me. So that kept me not complacent, right? From there, bro, probably some of the things that helped me. How many people are you speaking to a week to recruit, roughly?
I'd say 2 to 3 at the most.
Yeah, dude.
Definitely not sitting with enough. I don't have a system.
How many presentations are you doing a week to sell 40K?
I'd say probably like, I have a really good system right now. So probably like 30, 50. I'd say I probably get like 8 presentations a day minimum,
Yep, dope.
like
Cool.
that. And I work every day.
Yeah, fire. So some part of it is you're going to have to learn how to teach things that are really duplicatable. So it's like, can you help that system work for other people very easily? Right. So whatever it is you're doing to get that many presentations, you got to also now, so we got to learn how to do something first, right? Then you got to learn how to teach it. And to really build, you got to teach someone to teach it. So if you can do it, cool. Amen. Do you know how many people that can do it that don't know how to teach it? It's insane.
An absolute metric ton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the hardest part, and very few people can do this, you got it, you teach it, but can you teach him to teach it? If you can't teach him to teach it, you'll never scale the shit out of this thing. Does that make sense? So I'm always aware of that. What's duplicatable? What can I teach? And then for me, dude, I come from field sales. So I'm going to tell you what I did for me, right? I was in the field, going out, kitchen table, that type deal. And my deal was 100%. Yeah. Booking appointments, banging on doors, driving all over the state. I mean, that's how I grew up in the business. And so for me, my goal was 30 appointments a week in the field. And so I had a 30-30 club in my agency. If you did 30 appointments a week and 30 recruiting calls a week, you got to be part of my club. Does that make sense? So I like creating things like that. Like here, you want to win recruiting, 30 appointments, 30 recruiting calls.
So I think how do you get 30 recruiting calls?
I can get you unlimited calls tomorrow if you want to pay for it. You can get unlimited calls. There are going to be lots of dipshits in there, but you can get unlimited.
I don't care. I recruit dipshits as part of the business.
I'll give you some tips. So again, what's duplicatable is investing in unlimited recruiting leads. Super duplicatable.
Yeah.
It is to certain people, right? But where it's not duplicatable to is the people selling $6,000 a month. They can't invest in recruiting, right? So every person I hired, every person I spoke to about recruiting, to me, they became a recruiter for me. And not in a weird, like, I'm going to pitch them on building a business and spreads and hierarchy and oh my God, not that way. But what do they have access to that I don't have access to? Other people.
Yeah, their own warm market.
They know other people, right? In the network marketing world, they call it tap rooting. So when I speak to someone about the business, and I'm going to give you free game first, and then I'll give you investing side. Because the scale, how many people, how duplicatable relative to investing in recruiting leads is asking someone they know if they're interested in an opportunity to make some extra money. It's exponentially more duplicatable because everyone can do this one, right? So for me, the way I started it was you're doing 40 plus presentations a week. Okay. How many of those presentations a week, especially the good ones, do you say, hey, Bob, hey, quick question, man, now that we're done. So a lot of people are like you that don't have enough coverage, and I get 1 million requests a day, just like yours. My company is actually hiring. Do you happen to know anybody else that would be looking to make some part-time money that could do what I just did for you? You just imagine if you just asked that 40 times a week.
I think I've been like paralyzed in the fear of like that delegitimizing what I do. Like, I think I've been scared of like, which I mean, scared is the perfect word for it. I hate being scared of shit, but I think that's what it is for me, where I've been scared to ask that question. And because I haven't tried to, I haven't gotten a negative or a positive response. So I'm stuck in that loop of like.
So it's somewhat, there's some piece of it being proud of what you do. I'm not confused. The insurance sales guy, I'm not, so I need you to be careful. I want you to listen carefully how I word it.
Okay.
Hey, bro, Parker, I'm going to assume you're right. Hey, Parker. Hey, quick question, man. Now, no questions on the insurance. You're clear with all that. I just got one quick question, man. So there's a ton of people just like you looking for help, and I literally can't keep up. I got 12 of you to talk to today. My company's hiring. Do you happen to know anybody looking for some extra money that can do what I just did for y'all? I didn't go like, hey, do you want to be an insurance sales guy? Hey, do you want to make an extra $1,000 a day? Hey, do you want, I'm not pitching, bro. I'm just asking a question. Do I genuinely want to know if they know anyone else that's looking for an opportunity to make some extra money? I actually want to know that. Why? Because I want to know them. And am I expecting home runs every day other than that question? No. But watch this. You ask it 40 times a week. Let's just pretend you do it. Do you think there's a chance that one person a week goes, yeah? 5 people a week?
I think it's
I mean,
impossible you don't run into people that are
yeah, dude. So now we go, let's call it 1 a week. Trash numbers.
okay.
That's 52 people a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you go this. I got 14 agents selling. Maybe they're only averaging 10 appointments a week. Imagine you make it normal where they ask too. Hey, my dude Parker's hiring. He's looking for people that are looking to make some extra money. Do you happen to know anybody? Now you got 14 people asking their 10 clients a week. That's 140 times a week it's asking, plus your 40. Your agency is now asking 180 times a week. Imagine if Caitlin's group does it. We got 76 people on here. Let's pretend we're averaging 10 appointments a week and we go, hey, we got a ton of people just like you. Do you happen to know anybody looking to make some extra money? Be almost 1,000 times a week that question would be asking.
Yeah. So even with only getting 14 people.
Yeah, bro. It's to prove duplication, right? I only have to do it for a little while. But dude, you know how many clients I hired?
How many?
Oh, like no, they'd be like, I'm actually licensed. I work for State Farm. How's it work?
Have any
Hey,
good
my
stories
cousin.
from that? Like I always like it's like I fear that if I sign somebody up for say $250 a month, that like
Dude,
they
I would draw out the commissions on the back of the application and do the math with how much I just made on their application. 100%, dude. 100%. Now, am I saying to do that with an 80-year-old? No, but I'm not afraid that I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if they're offended, I find that weird. Like it didn't come from them. The insurance company paid me. Here's how they pay me.
Yeah.
You could have wrote your own policy and made this. Does that make sense? I have no fear of telling people that. And I understood law of large numbers, it would work. And I believe in what I do. And I actually want to help people make extra money, bro. Right? So that's step one. Now, let's say you get a recruit and it's not a client. That's just one road. That's one avenue.
Yeah.
Let's just say you have a natural recruit. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, right? You're talking to him, maybe it's going good. You're on the conversation. You go, hey, dude, we're actually hiring like crazy. You seem like a sharp guy. You're looking for opportunity. Do you have any buddies or anyone you know that's also looking for opportunity? I'm trying to talk to more people who are looking to make money. Now, you're only talking to 3 people a week, but if you ask those 3 people a week, same concept. They're going to know people. I did this. I used to fly out to Utah to sell. Right. I wanted to build an agency. I was building in multiple areas.
I moved for that. I'm like sitting in my house that I just moved into. I'm building a bed in Utah because I moved here so I could recruit door-to-door people.
Oh, hell yeah. Utah's bomb, bro. I loved it up there. I would sell. Where do you live?
I live in American Fork.
Got it. I was in Salt Lake, Utah, Davis, Weber, whatever it's called, those 4 counties. And I used to stay in Park City. So I'd fly out there on a Sunday because I could get at the time 150 direct mail leads a month, mortgage leads out there when you couldn't get leads like today.
Yeah.
I'd fly out there once a month. I'd sell Monday through Thursday up there. I'd drive down to St. George on Friday, sell all day Friday. Friday evening, I'd drive to Vegas and take a red eye home back to Atlanta. I'd drive 20 grand every time I went out there. It's a bomb area.
Mm-hmm.
While I was out there, I would recruit. I'd meet with people at hotels and dinners and things like that. And I was on a recruiting mission and I would literally draw out how much I made in their backyard. Be like, dude, I flew to Atlanta to make, so far I've made 12 grand this week and I got 3 more days in the field. And one day I hire this guy, Jesse. Okay. I bring him on, I tell him whatever, you do your deal, you get him, he's excited. I'm going to be the next best thing, blah, that whole thing. And I go, dope. Hey man, so I'm hiring like crazy, trying to build a team. I'm traveling across the country. Hey, do you know anybody else that would be a good fit? He's like, yeah, I know this dude. And he recommended me a guy. I forget his name. He was in Texas, I think Houston. Talk to this guy in Houston, bring him on, same thing. He's like, yeah, all right, yeah, great, whatever, works out. He's like, yeah, I'm going to come in. I'm going to kill it. I have a team of like 3 or 4 different agents. They're going to come on board too, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dope. Hey, who else do you know? He refers me to someone named Jackie in Missouri. Hire Jackie, bring her on. Within 6 months, Jackie's group is doing $150K a month. Okay. She hired her boyfriend who sells 300 grand plus a year still to this day. This was in 2015. Jesse never got contracted.
That's
The
so
dude-
nuts.
The dude in Texas got contracted, sold maybe like with him and his 3 agents, maybe 30 grand ever, and quit. Jackie and James still sell insurance, still have a team, still got things going on. And I can give you multiple stories like that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? All from that concept. Who do you know? Who do you know?
You
Who do
probably
you know? I'm
changed
just
the fuck
asking
out
who
of
you
their
know,
lives.
bro. I'm hiring. Who do you know? I'm
Yeah.
hiring. Who do you know? You know what I'm saying? And that gave me a funnel of people all the time. Third thing I did, y'all can do it with social media. I'm just going to tell you how I did it. I would search people by title, life insurance agent, mortgage protection specialist, final expense person, all the titles we all give ourselves. And then I would search companies, combined insurance, American Income Life, New York Life. I'd search them all on LinkedIn. I'd friend everybody because and then I would, to the equivalent of DM them. And I would send 100 messages a day on LinkedIn. And you know Zach Twardowski?
Loosely. I've like heard of him.
One of the biggest teams in the company. He's in my group. I worked with him for years. So I do this thing on LinkedIn. We hire this guy, Kurt, on LinkedIn. He answers from 100 messages a day. Send him to Zach. I'm like, hey, Zach, can you take care of this guy? He's in Ohio. Zach was flying to Ohio like I was flying to Utah. I taught him to do that. Hires this dude, Kurt. Hey, who do you know? He hires this other guy that from AIL. Dude, that one lead, we hired like 75 people from AIL. That team does $1.5 million a month today from a cold DM on LinkedIn because I was sending 100 a day. All 3 of those things are free. 99% of people on here won't fucking do them. But I understood the power of numbers because I taught it too. I did it to prove it worked a little bit. But if I do a little bit with a lot of people, bro, it adds up like crazy. And then the last thing I did was pay for it. Again, you want paid recruiting leads? Dude, I can literally get you unlimited leads. It's not hard.
And that's kind of what I'm looking at doing too. Like I just want to invest myself fully in the business.
Yeah,
I don't.
so we can do unlimited leads, and we're setting Caitlin and her staff up now with a whole onboarding and recruiting system we built to manage the flow of it all. I was bringing in like 1,000 recruiting appointments a week, dude. We were cranking. You can literally get unlimited. So you're gonna have to weed through them and learn how to. Now the next step is, how do I learn how to have conversations? How do I weed people out? How do I teach them? How, you know what I mean? It gets
Same thing as dials, it's just different. It's same system applied, different
Yep.
thing.
Yeah. So, and I'll end with this, dude. I'll give you a book. Do you read? He's zoned out again. Did you hear me?
It's just not letting me unmute. Yeah, I do read.
Oh, okay. You read? Have you ever read any John Maxwell stuff?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Have you heard of him?
No, I haven't.
Okay. He's written like 90 books. He's considered like the king of self-development and thought leader. I mean, he's a boss, dude. He's like 90 now, but he's a G in this leadership space. All the leaders that you follow on social media that lead stuff, they all learn from John Maxwell. He's like one of those. He's one of the top tier, like he's one of the dudes. He wrote this book called 5 Levels of Leadership. I suggest you buy it right now on Amazon. It'll be at your house tomorrow. It's by far the best book I ever read for building a team. Make sense? And if any of you want, I think, Caitlin, you're confirmed you're coming, but if not, you have to confirm. I have an event in my office, February 27th, 28th, that I'm going to literally a 2-day workshop. I'm going to be teaching an obnoxious amount of this stuff for 2 full days. I have a bunch of people that are in my consulting side coming over, some 7-figure earners there. We're going to have a dope time. So if you're interested in anything I got going on going forward, if you go johnwetmore.com/events, you can get to that. And then I'm going to give some resources to those of y'all that are like just trying to figure this thing out. I'm going to type this thing in here. Hold on one second. Everyone. So if you go JComs.
Yeah, I couldn't find the image for it. I was gonna share it. Was it on your website?
It is, yeah. If you click on the link, if you go to the events, brings you to all of them. You got to click on the one for the 27th, 28th. But yeah, we have some. So we have 2 options to come in. There's a 2-day event. And then I'm having like a VIP mastermind at my house after. So I just finished building a pretty nice house. So we're gonna have some people there if you're like looking to be around some next level, like high-end people, 7-figure plus earners. You can get in. It is a paid thing, but you can come if you want or not come. It don't matter, but it's an option for people. But I'm gonna give you one last link for those of y'all that are like want help with figuring out 2025, your schedule, your goals, tracking your activity, stuff like that. I'm gonna give something away to you guys for free. If you go johnwetmore.com/resources, johnwetmore.com/resources, you'll get an email with some worksheets that you can download. It'll help you build out a schedule, build out your goals. And I have 2 videos that are attached to it. I can't, it looks like, what is that? What would you just buy? Oh, you got, hell yeah, good for you, bro. I love it.
Caleb's doing the same thing right now.
Yeah, so if you do the resources one, anyone wants that, it'll send you a couple worksheets on how to do goals, how to build your schedule out, and there's a couple videos attached that talk about mine and how to do this exercise and the things I did to go from like mediocre to that 460K. If any of y'all need that, just grab the link. It's free. You can download it. Certainly you'll be on my email list. And if you hate me, you can unsubscribe and take the stuff for free. It's all good. But anything else y'all need? Sorry, I talk a
Thank you,
lot.
John. I'm not going to keep you any longer.
You're tired. No.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you more than you know. I'm going to open up the breakout rooms for everyone else, and hopefully next week we will have some more numbers to share.
Cool.
Josh raised his hand. Do you have a question for? Oh, never
Oh
mind.
yeah, quick question.
Oh wait, there he is. There he is.
Not a question, but I just want to say thanks to John. You know, I'm pretty sure I'm speaking for the rest of us. Feel like you know, motivated a lot of us. So I want to say thank you.
Absolutely.
Welcome, bro. Hey, Caitlin, will you do me a favor? Will you or your
Yes.
staff send me those their name and address from that chat?
Yeah. I got you.
I can send them there.
I'm gonna stop the recording now, open the breakout rooms, and I will send this to you guys. And we're gonna listen to it loud and clear. I'm gonna listen to it as
Love
well, over and over
All right,
again.
bro. Holler if you need me.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Later.
That was awesome.
Thanks, John.
You're welcome.
John, you have more question?
Yeah, go ahead. What you got, dude? If you stay here, as long as she don't kick you out.
All right, John. This is my first time hearing you out, bro. I like a lot of the stuff you said. I could tell you were about it as soon as I heard you. Just a question about you personally. You know, in the last 10 years, like 10 years ago, you know, if you had, what was the biggest thing you learned, not about business or about sales or insurance, but the biggest thing about life that you learned that's you wish you knew 10 years ago, John?
Good question, dude. The biggest turnaround for me and who I am as a person that I wish I learned when I was younger was that, like, we tend to find blame in things that don't go our way in others. Like, we're not on time because of traffic. Didn't hit this because that person. I didn't get my raise because the employee this. You know what I mean? We tend to try to reason why we don't see the results we want. Right? Pretty fair statement. And so for me, the biggest thing that helped me personally, like the way I live my life, it has nothing to do with sales or business or anything. It's just a generic, like, it helps me live every day better, is as soon as I realized in any situation, but in this particular case, there was something going on in life. As soon as I accepted that I was the problem, what it did is it immediately allowed me to also be the solution. Like, if I have something going on and you're my problem, unfortunately, you're my solution and I don't know how to change you. But when I go, I'm the problem, it was so freeing to me because it was immediate. I was the solution now. So I still, to this day, dude, it changed who I am as a person. So everything that goes sideways in my life, I look at it and I go, what did I do to get myself here? Right or wrong? Like, even if me and you have a disagreement and you are completely wrong, I look at it and go, how did I let it get there? You know what I mean? What did I do wrong to contribute to this issue? Could I have dealt with it in advance? Could I have addressed you differently? Could I, you know what I mean? Maybe I could have controlled it. So just that general concept, man, if you accept that you're the problem it gives you the ability to immediately be the solution. And it's helped me in my life, personally, professionally, everything, my kids, you know.
No, totally.
Make sense?
Yeah, no, extremely. It's almost like if you're trying to make a decision, like always try to argue the opposite, try to argue the alternate view. And,
Yeah.
that doesn't
I don't want to beat myself up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go that deep with it, but I do want to go like, damn, that didn't go the way I wanted. Again, that guy was an a-hole and he cut me off. All right, well, what if I wasn't driving 90? And what if I didn't speed up right before he moved over? Or what, you know what I mean? Like, I could have controlled the situation differently and not put myself in a position to where that problem happened. Even if the problem was someone else. You know what I mean? It's like when my kids do something stupid, they're like, it was Joey. I'm like, yeah, but you were at the fucking party, dipshit. You know what I mean? I know it was Joey. I got you. But you do hang out with Joey. You do know who Joey is. He hasn't, you know what I'm saying? So we can always look at situations and go, could I have done something better to not have put myself in the situation that's caused me this frustration? And dude, I ain't found a problem yet that I couldn't have at least done something slightly differently. I'm mad at my wife. Dude, what could I have done? And I'm not by no means perfect. I'm still a shit show some days. But I try to remind myself. Sometimes I have to give myself my own advice, dude. I do good getting y'all excited, and then I go home and I'm like, damn, I should probably listen to my own training today. You know, so it's an ongoing battle, dude. But it's just helped me look at situations differently. You know, give people grace, and just allow myself the flexibility to make mistakes, but move on and correct them and learn from them.
Totally. Safe to say the only way to control your outcome is by what you control on your input.
It's a big piece of it, for sure. Yeah. You know, certainly there are always some variables that could come into play, you know, like control the controllables. But dude, right now, like in California, dude, there's big fires. I mean, some things are out of their control. You know what I mean? Like life throws its curveballs. I can eat healthy as all get out. I can eat perfect, have a great diet, work out. Dude, God might throw cancer my way. You know what I mean? Like, so almost always, yes. Yeah. You know, but life is life, dude. You know what I mean? So it's like, do your best to control what you can control, for sure. You know, and it's you'll come out on the right side of things way more often than not.
Oh yeah.
Hey John, I had a question for you.
Go for it.
So I'm 37, so I'm the same age as you were when about 10 years ago we were talking about. So what would be your advice being someone that in their late 30s trying to figure stuff out, just trying to, be the best they can be in all aspects of life? What kind of advice would you give to someone at my age specifically?
Very generic, because I don't know you at all, right? So I have to be somewhat vague. I know for me what changed was being very open-minded to feedback, maybe even criticism, advice from people that were where I wanted to be, that I didn't necessarily like hearing. You know, gotcha. In fact, I started to go out of my way to put myself in environments where I would receive feedback that was hard to hear from people that were willing to challenge me, be real with me. And I need that. I don't do beat around the bush well. I don't receive it well, which is why my delivery is who it is, because it's how I learn. You know, so I think taking advice from people where you want to be, and typically people that are where you want to be are going to give you some form of tough love, dude. You know, and if you're not around people that are challenging who you are as a person, you're probably not around the right people. You know, because I don't think any of us go through life without problems. And I like when people point mine out, you know, and not in a mean kind of way, but people I respect, you know what I'm saying? Not some a-hole off the, like, who cares what he has to say, but someone who's where I want to be in life, whether it's financially, professionally, the way he treats his family, you know what I mean? Like his belief, whatever it is, you know. And when I started taking advice from people where I wanted to be, man, it was hard sometimes. It was hard sometimes to take the feedback and hear things that I was like, ooh, all right, that one punched me in the nuts a little bit, you know, but those turned out to be the greatest moments looking back on them. You know, 37 years old, dude, we tend to be pretty stubborn by that age. We're pretty set in our ways. We're pretty not quite as moldable. You know what I mean? Like that teach old dog new tricks thing is real. So I had to literally, looking back, I literally changed who I was as a person from 37 and I'm now 47. I'm a different human being. You know, it took time and I'm still working on it. Trust me. You know, but if I look back to that 37-year-old, I'm like, golly, I'm glad I didn't stay that person.
Right, right. Yeah. I mean, I do have a big ego, so I'm constantly battling that, you know, so.
I was
see what you
taught,
mean.
actually, Sean Mike used to say this a lot. You want a big ego or a big business?
Yeah, yeah,
Because you can't have both.
right, right.
Make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
Cool. Dig it. All right, fellas. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Hopefully it helped. I'll make some changes. Hit me up if
Thank
you need.
you so
DK.
much.
All right, girl. Later.